So recapping on the season, heading into regionals, I think both sides, or know on both sides, that we have improved a lot. We ran a pretty similar schedule to last season, and so by doing that, we were able to compare from season to season how we've done, and we have had tremendous improvement on both sides. So the guys, we have top four we talked about all season, top four running close together near the front of the pack. They're definitely some of the strongest top four we've had, not just comparing to last season, but over the last 4 or 5 seasons. Then we've had Victor Mora, Stephen Thompson, and John Slavin come in, we've asked them to do a lot and show up in that 5th spot for being inexperienced, and they've done pretty well and come through with us or for us, and help us get some higher placement in races compared to years past. At conference, we placed 4th as a team, and we thought maybe top 3 would be possible if everything went right for us. So we just missed that goal, but maybe the most positive sign was that we were just 18 points out of 2nd with a very strong Wingate team. So that shows some real progress. And then we also beat Anderson, who returned most of their runners from the 2011 season, where they were 2nd in the conference. So we beat some good teams and not too far off some of the top teams. So we were pretty satisfied with it. Individually, had Bradley get on the first team all-conference, and then Ryan make the freshman team all-conference. So had some positive results there. And then on the women's side, much the same, of strong improvement throughout the season. We've had a pretty set 5 throughout most of the season, and they've improved from week to week. Of course, have Sophia and Amber leading us at the front like they've done for most of their career. And then this year we've been able to get some help from a couple freshmen, and Ora Penalosa have come in there and run well to round out our top 5. And then we've had solid depth at the 6, 7, 8 position this year as well, which was nice to have. Looking at conference, a little disappointed where we finished there with a 5th place finish. We thought we were a top 3 team. No, we're a top 3 team in the conference, and it just didn't go right for us that day. We talked of winning conference and thought that if everything again went right for us, we could win the meet. Unfortunately, we didn't have things go our way. We had Sophia get knocked down going into the last mile of the race, and a portion of the race where you cross paths with runners going in different directions, and that was a tough part of the race to physically overcome as well as mentally overcome. So that certainly hurt us. And then Haley Doty was battling an injury, and that course was pretty uneven surface, up and down some hills, so it really beat her up, so she wasn't able to run to the best of her abilities. But not making excuses, like I said, we probably weren't going to win on that day anyways, but thought we were at least a top 3 team. And again, don't want to overshadow, we had some individual performances that were good, with Amber Storp getting on the 2nd team all-conference, the 2nd year in a row. Having Tia Belter come through with a freshman all-conference performance. And then Ora Penalosa and Sarah Jones really stepped up for us that day, probably had their best races of the season in the 4 and 5 spots for us. So, some good results, things we'll build on going into region. Looking at regionals, the course for the men is 2K longer, so just over a mile longer than what they've run most of the season. And for the women, it's a kilometer longer, which is a little over a half mile. I think that bodes well for our team. We focus a lot on long runs, on long tempo runs, threshold runs. That's a big focus in our program. So I think the extra distance helps us out. We can, go out, run our own race, and use the extra distance to run down people and use it to our advantage to make up ground late in the race. As well as the course, I think, fits us well. A lot of our harder workouts come on some flatter, harder packed surface, which is like this course we run this Saturday. So I think it sets us up well to have strong performances in the region.